Revolution is the brand new album by Christian band Skillet, and in my opinion, with Skillet's catalogue, as I'm not the biggest fan of what they have to offer, and I feel like this is the general consensus of a lot of people who've listened or heard of Skillet, because frankly, especially with anything from 2016 onwards, I think has been a huge downgrade to some of the more intriguing ideas in previous points in the discography. So albums like Comatose and Collide actually offer a relatively somewhat enjoyable experience when you're trying to get some kind of classic hard rock Christian vibes from it. But then from Unleashed onwards, it feels like a very bland take into going for the most generic sound that the band could push, with each record, in my opinion, just being somewhat weaker than the last. But we're going to see if Revolution is another case of that, or if it's a different situation. So we start off with Showtime. To me, this is interesting that they John Cooper's pushed for more unclean, so a little bit more screaming, even if it's a little bit. But yeah, because we didn't really have much of that. There's kind of something that the Collide era was mainly most known for. But yeah, I don't think that really makes much of a difference. It still feels like the most kind of average Skillet song we've had in a while. It has the perfect sound, it has that kind of generic butt rock chorus to it, and then continues with the instrumentals, which just feel weak, in my opinion. And I think I'm going to be saying a bunch of this stuff quite a bit. But yeah, Showtime I did not enjoy. Unpopular, the lead single of the record, I really did not enjoy. It feels so in your face as one of these slapped on just awful anthems that the band's trying to push out to really make this the big Skillet feeling track. It basically has the same presence in your face as something like You Ain't Ready or Surviving the Game. It just feels so bare bone and by the numbers weak Skillet, and I have no idea who's quite a big fan of this stuff, because this sounds pretty awful in my opinion. All That Matters is another single I just didn't care for at all. I think it has next to nothing. At least with Unpopular, it's in your face annoying, which makes me remember it more, but this one is quite forgettable. I personally can't really say much else than it. Just did not care for this one when it came out, and I certainly don't care for it now. Not Afraid is probably one of the more better tracks in a while from Skillet. I think this one has a decent chorus as well, and I honestly like the energy on it. It's quite gritty, it's quite menacing. When they include this little breakdown with some nice uncleans, it's a cool addition, but it does not save the record in the slightest. It still feels cheap and kind of hollow from the Skillet that we all knew was better at one point. It's just kind of staring at a hollow shell that's trying to bring some of the magic they had, but it's not working. Revolution title track, probably one of my least favourite Skillet songs ever. The chorus is horrendous. Instrumentally it's not too bad, and I think it has some decent ideas, but the bridge just lost me. It's not anything to write home. It just feels like it generally just feels like one of the weakest and more aggravating, annoying Skillet songs, and I really didn't care for this one. And if that's the title track, yeah, I can't really say much. I'm really interested in that, to be honest. We had Ash in the Wind, which is the third sort of single, and I just didn't care for it. I feel like I'm just going to repeat it, but there's nothing else for me to say really. It's the same thing again. It's just a bland song that just feels like there's not really much to offer. Instrumentally it's underwhelming. Vocally it's just John Cooper going for the same structure in a Skillet song. It feels pretty lazy in my opinion. Fire Inside of Me, probably one of the least memorable tracks. Even lyrically, this one actually feels so bare bone in what it's offering. It feels like you're eating a KFC chicken leg and then Cartman took all the nice, delicious skin off the chicken and pretty much ate the chicken as well, so you just got the bone. That's how bare bone it is. It's It's not good. Defector's probably the strongest song on the record. I actually will say that because I think Defector has some decent instrumental points. Chorus isn't too bad either. It's one that's okay. And the bridge is fine. I think it's got some elements that can work for a good Skillet song, but it feels very okay-ish that I don't really want to go back into it much either. If it's the best it has to offer, this is not a good album. Happy Wedding Day, Alex's song, a Skillet ballad. Need I say more? And then Defier just feels like them trying to do a Five Finger Death Punch impression, and it certainly was not fun. It was not something I wanted, and I don't think I want to listen to anything like that again. So that is every Skillet song talked about, and I must say, it's no different than what they've released the last good few years. It's almost been 10 years since Unleashed came out. That came out 2016, and I don't think Skillet have even released an album that's good. I don't think they've even released anything as good as Awake, Comatose or Collide. This is again another weak album. I will say, in comparison to Dominion, this is a bit of a step up, but it's not much of a step up. It's still a bad album, just the bad of Dominion just outweighs this one. And it's probably on the same tier as Victoria, so I just didn't care for that record, and I kind of feel the same here. It's a Skillet album I have no interest to go back into. It's a 1.5 out of 5. So I hope you'll enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next video.